YouTube, chicks. Get ready. You know what to do, chicks.
Listen, Chick Smooth.
Hey, Chick Smooth. Appreciate all the coverage that you've been doing. I've been watching your shit for a while. I just subscribed to your shit too, bro.
What's up, everybody? It's your boy BREAD Fox reporting from the Chicks Universe, and boy, oh boy, chat, I can't believe I'm about to say this. I've been trying to fight it, but I gotta face the reality and I gotta say the truth. It looked like this man, Shannon Sharpe, might be cooked. So, for those of you who don't know what's going on, Shannon Sharpe was actually recently accused by an OnlyFans model that's 19 years old of SA and the R word. So at first, people were very skeptical of this just because of his image and everything like that. However, it seems as though as time goes on, we're all starting to see the chinks in his armor in real time. Now, out of nowhere this morning, there's actually been another accusation. And it turns out it was an accusation that was there before, but however, it got pretty much buried over. So what ended up happening was one of Shannon Sharpe's ex-girlfriends, Michelle, funny enough, that she is Shannon Sharpe's former ex-girlfriend of many years, and that back in 2010, the way the relationship ended was that he R-worded her as well. Now, this becomes a second allegation, and there's actually rumors that there are more allegations on the way. In the lawsuit, it said a whole bunch of things, and the counter to the lawsuit was extremely salacious with all of these text messages and everything like that. And at first, it looked kind of funny and, you know, everybody's having fun with it. But now that we're looking at it in the long run, that may actually come back to bite Shannon in the behind. Why? Because it kind of just loses that empathy. It just shows you have no empathy for this person, even if it's not true. If it is true, it just makes the public perception look at you as though you're not an empathetic person. And that can sway very highly in the favor of plaintiff's case. For the second one, it's pretty much the ex-girlfriend coming out with the horrifying story. A former girlfriend of embattled NFL legend Shannon Sharpe claimed their decade-long relationship ended with a restraining order after the Hall of Famer allegedly R-worded and threatened to ruin her if she ever spoke out. Michelle Bundy Evans filed a $4 million defamation lawsuit against Sharpe for divulging their ongoing legal disputes on television after news broke that she filed a restraining order accusing him of SA and stalking for the September 2010 incident. Now, that was a defamation lawsuit, and in that lawsuit, she actually goes into detail about what actually happened that night. So in the news article, they do cover that, and they say the defamation lawsuit filed by the scorned ex alleged that Evans and Sharpe were arguing when the football star forced his sweetheart of nearly 10 years to be on her knees and sexually assaulted her before R-wording her. Evans claimed she sought legal protection after the former Denver Bronco hurled threats of ruin if she ever publicly disclosed this disturbing incident, according to the suit. They're accusing him of the R word again, and this is the second person. Now, this is, as they say, a scorned ex. And one thing that we do have to mention, which is also mentioned in the article, is that the restraining order was dropped almost immediately after it was filed. So in the article, it says the restraining order was dropped shortly after it was filed. CBS reported, with Evans claiming she was harassed at home with her daughter over her decision to go after her former beau. Shannon Sharpe's legal team did have something to say about this, and they absolutely called it tomfoolery. Michelle Evans' claims are ridiculous and completely without merit. Vincent Morris, Sharpe's attorney, told the Post Thursday night she could not find a lawyer to take her case, and if you read her complaint, you'll see it is filled with nonsense. Shannon had no contact with her for many years, and we understand that she is still on probation after serving 3 years in prison. Now, allegedly, she attacked her ex-husband and was sentenced to 3 years in prison for that. But it turns out the reason why she's actually bringing this about today is because she's kind of sort of coming to the defense of the 19-year-old OnlyFans model who was accusing Shannon. Now, if you remember, when Shannon's legal team actually responded to the lawsuit, which was filed by a Jane Doe as an anonymous suitor, they actually responded with doxing the person who was suing Shannon Sharpe. So rather than addressing her as Jane Doe, they addressed her as Gabriela Zuniga, pretty much letting everybody know who she was. Shannon Sharpe's ex is saying she knows how that girl feels and she's been where that girl's been, and that this is actually one of Shannon Sharpe's tactics he uses to silence his victims. So this is what Michelle said. I want people to understand what Shannon did to this woman by doxing her. By putting out her name, by putting out her OnlyFans account, that was horrifying because things are going to happen to her because of that. I still get it to this day, and I went through a lot of things. As you can see in the complaint, that's actually even stemmed from it. This is somebody that was literally on top of the world just last year. At the end of the day, you have to be responsible in the way that you move, and you have to be responsible in the way that you act. And in addition to that, we have to be fair to all sides, because especially now that there's another person that has entered the chat, it makes it a little bit more difficult to just refute the claims all the way through. Even though Tony Busby and his slimy self is behind these lawsuits, that doesn't automatically take away that the people who are bringing these suits up to the light are lying. We still have to treat everybody with respect, and we still have to keep everything open. At the end of the day, we live in a country that's innocent until proven guilty. And we're just hoping that Shannon Sharpe is telling the truth and he's actually able to prove his innocence. However, the court of public opinion always weighs heavily in these matters. So I would love to know how you guys feel. Drop some knowledge in the comments. Do you think Shannon Sharpe is actually innocent? Or do you think that no, he's 100% guilty and these two women are just the very first to come of many? Please let us know in the comments. Also, make sure that you like, comment, and subscribe. It's your boy BREAD Fox, report from the Chicks Universe. And as always, till next time.